Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Saloni Kukreja, who's going to teach us how to do reels. She was first a Food of Bombay. Yeah, and you know, she was a blog and Instagram and all that. Then she went to Canada to study Toronto. Where was this?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. So she went there. Then she came back, and then she, among various things, she set up her own page, Saloni Kukreja. And I know that people feel very intimidated about reels because, you know, when Instagram started, then people felt that, okay, we write, now we have to take pictures.
Yeah.
and you know, those of us who wrote were a bit like this thing. But now that it's become about moving pictures, now the photography people are like, oh God.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing good. I'm really excited to be here and thank you all for coming. My name is Saloni. I've been creating content for about 8 years now, and my focus is primarily creating recipe-based content. So today I'm here to talk to you about a little bit about my journey with Reels, with short-form content on Instagram, and the things that I've learned over the years and sort of the approach that I take to creating content and Reels. Like so Kalyan mentioned that content has changed over the years. If you look at it visually, it was majorly photo-based content, and things have changed in the past, I would say 4 years, quite a bit, in the sense of because people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, and photos just don't make that kind of impact that videos do. And if you look at Instagram specifically, they are pushing real content like no other. The photos were what you saw on your feed now, but now it's all reels. So we'll start by talking about the basic equipment that you need to create a reel on Instagram. What I use is my iPhone camera for creating reels. If you are comfortable with a professional DSLR, that's great as well. But again, like if you are just getting started, I think the phone is the way to go. So just get started if it's the phone. If you like experimenting with the camera, try that out. Second thing I would say is definitely lighting. And that's why I say a phone is helpful, majorly because there is good light. Ideally, again, if you're starting out, I would recommend choosing natural light. Once you get started with the natural light, if you want to sort of move on to a professional light, a ring light, anything that if you feel there is not enough natural light where you're shooting. And then the third thing I would say is tripod. So I think with food, like a lot of creators who are not in the food space, for them it's sometimes okay because you just place your camera and then you can shoot. But with food, like your hands, it's hands-on, right? Like you're using your hands to cook the food. So I think it's just better for stability as well. Then I'll talk about actually creating the reel. So first thing I would like to say is if again you're starting out to create reels, I think it really helps if you sort of put your vision on paper. Beginning, how is it going to look? Middle, how is it going to look? Are we adding some props? Is there going to be a picture where I'm pouring like milk or coffee into something? So just writing like frames down, and I don't think if you all can see, but essentially, like I've just written here, like just created 2 columns. It's as basic as that. First frame is going to be, this was for making a beer cocktail. So first frame is going to be, the video starts with quick shots of the table, the beer in the background. Second shot is layout of the food pairing. So we were pairing food with a beer cocktail. So layout of that. And then goes to clips of the close-up clips of beer pouring into a glass. And second, I would say is again have references. This we like to do, especially when we do certain branded pieces of content. Like once I write this down, once I see references, it sort of gets me thinking about, oh, what else can we do to make this video better? Whether it's doing a transition or whether it's adding flowers or any other element. So if I look at a reference of a similar concept, if example, it's a cocktail making video. So we're making the cocktail, and if I look at someone sort of, I don't know, playing a Netflix show in the background. So it creates like a whole mood, right? Like you're making wine and mulled wine and you're watching TV. So it creates a whole mood. So it'll give me like an idea of what else I can do to make this content piece better. So I wouldn't say references for just straight up copying someone, but just taking an idea of how can your idea be better. Now actually shooting the reel, you have your idea down, you have your references down. Now actually shooting the reel, it is a bit of trial and error. For me again, like when I came back, I started shooting with my DSLR because I was like, oh, I want it to be of a certain quality. But then I started shooting with my phone. And it really made it easier for me because Reels as a platform, you need to churn out a lot of content, but it became easier for me to shoot with that phone, and I saw the quality wasn't dropping, people were reacting to it well. So it just took me that adjustment to figure out, okay, I'm more comfortable with the phone. I can do these angles with the phone. This is my aesthetic. This is what I want in the background. So again, just trial and error. Unless you like keep consistently, like Gauri mentioned as well, you have to be consistent. I think that is for posting as well, but as well as for creating, you have to consistently keep creating so your end result improves. It just becomes better. Yeah, also I think understanding like what your goal is on Instagram. Like for me, it is, I like obviously engagement. Everyone wants engagement. Everyone wants numbers. That's one goal. But for me, it is I want to teach people certain things, some either a technique that they might not have heard of, either an ingredient they might not have heard of. So it depends on what your goal is. Do you want to increase customers? Do you want to increase just overall engagement, more eyes on your platform? So different things like that. And once you have like a sort of goal set in mind, so the writing the content down will be way easier. Yeah, I want to move on to editing then. A lot of people just skip this part. I think it takes the video from here to here for sure, especially with food, because we are dependent on lighting. You don't know how the food's going to look at any particular point in time, and it might not consistently look the same. So I would definitely say editing in terms of just bumping up the colors, making the brightness look better, because food, like if you look at food from the naked eye, it's really vibrant. It might look really nice, but then once you put the phone camera on, it kind of gets dull. So a few editing apps I will recommend. So I personally use something called InShot. I use the pro version of that because I find there to be a lot more control. So InShot is one. There are a few other free ones. There's Splice. VN, I believe, is free, and CapCut. So these are a few. I think you just need to, again, trial and error, see what you are comfortable using. This is one video that we recently edited. First thing over here is Canvas. So this basically shows the orientation of the video. So this is for Reels. So it is that particular format. If I want it for YouTube, I can change that. So I can make it, again, a landscape or a horizontal format for the video. Second thing is music. Videos as such, I like to record audio. Like I like to put down, now this is going in and this is going in. So I can record it directly over here. You can do this again on Instagram, but here I find it to be more comfortable for sure. If you want to add like light music in the background, anything like that, you can always download music from YouTube or anywhere else. Just add it onto here and it'll sort of stitch it in. And then again, like Reels, again, they are promoting trending audios a lot. And I think like you should use as many trending audios as possible. I believe this is only available in a creator profile, but you basically get an arrow. So you get this arrow right next to the audio, which means that it is currently trending. I don't know if it's in business profiles, but it is in creator profile. You can save the audio as soon as it starts trending. You can save the audio and then use that particular audio depending on the video. And then filters, which is the most important thing. This basically, again, might look a little intimidating, but controls the colors of the particular video. So helps to, if you want to, if it's a strawberry, supposing if you want to increase the red a little bit. So, you know, it just helps you bump up that red color. Garnish is really nice and beautiful. So you increase the green a little bit. So just controlling the lighting, the colors of that particular video. And like here, basically you control it and then you can apply it throughout the video. Again, this you can't do on Instagram, the editing. That's why I would recommend, starting to practice on an editing app. And then we have so things like basically cutting the clip short. A lot of times when I notice a lot of people starting out to create content, like the first bit of the video is only so long. And the thing is, like, people's attention span is 3 to 5 seconds. Like, if you don't catch them in 3 to 5 seconds, they're gonna move on. So again, first, like I call it like a hook shot. So that's what I would put first. For example, we made these muffins, and then instead of starting with like starting the recipe, putting bananas in, mashing it, things like that, I start with showing what the muffin looks like. I'll show how it looks like from the outside. I show the texture inside, the strawberries inside, so they can sort of see what the texture is. So this will kind of be like, oh, what is that? Oh, I want to make these muffins. So that'll keep them going. Oh, how do I make these muffins? Like, they don't want to wait till the end to see what the end result is, even though it looks as good as it does. Now again, like if they end up watching the whole video, the algorithm is going to push the video more, because they're like, oh, people are interested in watching this from beginning to end. Like the whole video needs to be as engaging. I know, as tough as it is, like people's attention span is what it is now because of the popularity of short form content. So the aim is to get them to watch it from beginning to end. And the hook shot really helps them to gauge their attention, and then they might continue to stay on. And and then the algorithm pushes the video further. And one more thing that I wanted to add was basically try to involve a human element. I know with brands it can get a little tough, but I have seen people respond to that a bit better. Once they have a personal connection, once you're sort of building a community of people, whether it's following trends or, you know, people who are working with you or yourself, it really helps if you add a human element to the overall video. And again, with trends, I think it is a challenge because a lot of times, like, I find a lot of trends crass, but we have to sort of adjust and we have to approach it more creatively and figure out how it will fit your brand image, the things you're selling, or if you're a creator, how it will fit your whole brand identity as well. But I think keep a balance between content that you really want to create versus following trends and, you know, creating what people want, I would say, just for your sanity as well. But yeah, these were my overall tips, and I think, and yeah, just have fun with the video. I feel like, you know, shorter the video, the more impact it has. Like a lot of times we've seen we put in so much effort into the recipe beginning to end, but that won't do well. But if you only post a small snippet of it with a fun audio, then it'll bring people in. So I think again, like, it's great because they're not showing the full recipe, right, from beginning to end. So I would say again, find quicker ways to make quicker videos highlighting the food. You can always bring ingredients in to add vibrancy. You can bring authenticity, whether it's using props or using you know, different kinds of cloth. Or, you know, old age, like if it's a thali, for example. So, you know, add sort of character to the video. Again, food focused, but add character to the video. I think that really helps. But I would recommend short, impactful reels. What I understand is that short, impactful reels sort of reach a wider audience, but what gets them to stay is the story, is the like persona of the person as well as the story. So, like, maintaining a balance between providing information about this or what their life story's been, what's the story behind the food, and at the same time doing shorter, more impactful reels which are food focused.
If reels is the present, like photos were in the past, so reels is the present, what is the future?
I think reels are here for a bit because if you look at YouTube, they are investing in shorts. If you look at Pinterest, they're doing idea pins. So a lot of other social platforms are again investing in short form content. I feel YouTube longer form content is also great, and they are also investing in long form pieces of content because it sort of again, like I said, builds a community of people. With short form, it's like they saw you, they left, it's done. With YouTube, it's like they will remember who you are. They're sort of a part of your life almost. And so I think videos for now, I don't know what will happen with the metaverse, but yeah.
I've been following you on Instagram for quite a while, and there's one thing that I really like about your feed is it has a theme. So when you go on your page, there is a certain theme, a certain format when you look at your feeds. So how do you develop that theme?
Yeah, I think again, like I said, it comes with trial and error. For me, I think you think there's a theme because there's a uniform background as well. Like the colors that I've created in the kitchen, that took some time to get there because a lot of times, like I used to move around in the house wherever the light is. That's where I used to shoot my content. And then I saw the uniformity come in when I had a space. I think it'll take time to fix on the style. So once you just start, again, I said, like experimenting with different forms of content, whether you want to do tabletop and you want to change the angle, if you want to again keep it at a specific angle and have like, you know, for example, if it's like a vintage theme, for example, so you have like a thali or you have a masala ka dabba or things like that. If you want to keep that as a set theme and sort of just change things around, again, trial and error, you see what your style is depending on what you're shooting as well. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday and they did say like books are dying, but I just feel like I know a lot of people are writing books because that's something they've always wanted to do. Sadly, there is a shift from reading versus you know, creating videos, but there are people doing things like basically putting linking their books to videos as well. So that's a new format people are looking at. But yeah, videos are the way to go.
Okay, can I just intervene once here? Not because I've written a book, but I've got a publisher with me who's focusing on food books, and they're actually one of our sponsors, Heirloom. So I just said that maybe she might have a different point of view on
sure.
So the question was that with reels happening, is there any space for books? But given that your company is that, I'm not sure. So do you want to say anything about what's your take on cookbooks?
I'm Vaishnavi and I'm the founder of Heirloom. And what we do is we make these beautiful cookbooks for families to preserve their culinary legacies. And I think books are back. and you know the kind of response we're getting, because I think also like digitally it's like such a quick fix sort of for like what you want to consume, right? You see it, you consume it, you move on to the next reel, you move on to it. But at the same time, I think when it comes to longevity in how you want to preserve content, books are still the way to go. And I think they can both coexist really beautifully.
When you cook from a cookbook, like the experience is totally different.
Exactly,
Like you're
yeah.
so much more calm, and whether looking at a reel, they're trying to fit things in 30 seconds, right? So it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, it's done. How should I
Exactly.
do this? This is like, you know, you can take your time and have the whole cooking experience as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Saloni took a fabulous sort of thing on reels.
I was sitting and listening to everything from there, and I'm going to tell you, you must come to my office and teach me.
Done. You
Yeah?
got it.
Thank you. So thank you for being
Thank
here.
you so much for having me.